Good morning, I'm Nivareti Manu, and this is your morning news fix for Wednesday, 6th of August. In this update, a large chunk of funding for the New Zealand Institute in Advanced Technology is coming from cuts to science funds. The government's investing about $231 million into the Tech Institute as a public research organisation over 4 years. Our newsroom can confirm $150.4 million is being reprioritised. Funding's being reallocated from the Endeavour Fund, Health Research Fund and Marsden Fund over the coming years, each seeing reductions of more than $10 million. The research organisation plans to have a greater focus on economic success. Iwi leaders say we've seen a litany of unjustified actions as the government proceeds with its bill on Māori customary marine titles. It follows 2 decades of legal back and forth and a landmark Supreme Court decision last year that the government's now saying doesn't go far enough. Ngāti Toa Chief Executive Helmut Modlik says Māori customary rights were undisputed in 1840, but now they're being unilaterally determined. He says this is even with interpretations of the previous version of the legislation being ruled inconsistent with the treaty. A tech expert says New Zealand needs to ramp up its approach to cybersecurity. Australia, Singapore, India and Malaysia are already adopting legislation requiring owners and operators of critical infrastructure to protect it. Expert Michael Murphy says New Zealand's requirements are currently voluntary and not yet formalised. He says much of our infrastructure dates back to the 1970s, so we need to investigate threats that might already be embedded. Meanwhile, a cybersecurity startup says it's found active logins and passwords for tens of thousands of New Zealanders for sale on the dark web. Firm Nwebbed has analysed 30 billion credentials that were up for sale. Almost 200,000 compromised credentials were linked to New Zealand organisations and companies, including government agencies, local healthcare providers and one of the 4 big banks. The government is expecting a job market turnaround. Stats NZ data due out this morning is expected to show unemployment's reached a 9-year high. Christopher Luxon says years of higher inflation and suppressed demand have forced businesses to lay off workers. But the Prime Minister says unemployment should be reaching its peak. He says his government's plan should start delivering more growth and more jobs. North Canterbury residents are expected to fill local halls for public meetings about potential changes to their police stations. Police are consulting on possibly reducing personnel at rural stations in favour of 24/7 hubs in Rolleston and Rangiora. In sport, the Tall Blacks have pulled away in the final quarter to beat Iraq 178 in the opening game at basketball's Asia Cup in Saudi Arabia. Taylor Britt scored 19 points. Chanel Harris-Tavita has been named to return at 5/8 for the Warriors against the Bulldogs on Saturday off the back of a calf injury. Former Wallabies captain David Porecki has announced his retirement. The Hookers' last test was the second test loss to the Lions at the MCG. I'm Nivareti Manu, and that's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at midday from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.